Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing really very well. In our today's session, my dear student, we are going to continue our chapter number 8. Okay. So the first topic which we are going to cover in our today's class is an epic spread. Okay. Previously, we have seen, my dear student, the name of this chapter is Unity in Diversity. Okay. So what parameters are used to define this unity in diversity? We have seen the food habits, okay, we have seen the clothing habits, okay, and as well as we also have seen the production of fruits and vegetables throughout our country India. Now we are going to see, my dear students, an epic spread. Okay, see, this topic covers in even in our many literatures, okay, in our many literary sources, it is also mentioned about how our country is culturally unified. Okay, so the epic, what is the meaning of an epic spread? We are going to see here. See, literature provides literature provides a remarkable example. Okay, so in our country India, my dear student, our literatures provide prime examples of unity in diversity. Okay, our Indian literatures are so culturally diverse, okay, and richest, and if I say it is the richest literary sources in our world. Okay, here the language differences are very much, okay, because here many differences in language exist, and as well as the pattern of their style is also varied from century to century. Okay, but you know what, our Indian literature shared the common thing. Maybe their patterns are different, maybe their languages are different, but they share the common theme and concerns. Okay, examples you can take here: Panchtantra. Okay, this is the best example. Okay, see, Panchtantra means collection of stories. Okay, here in Panchtantra tales, my dear student, who are the main characters? The main characters are animals. Okay, in Panchtantra tale, animals occupy the main character. Okay, imparts valuable life lessons. Okay, even our Panchtantra tale, where main characters are played by animals, but still they give us many valuable lessons for our life. Okay, the original Sanskrit version is over 2200 years old, yet its stories have been adopted into into almost every Indian language. See, Panchtantra tales are previously, if I talk about how much old Panchtantra tales are, they are very much old. Nearly 2200 years ago, it is written in Sanskrit language. But still, we can find Panchtantra tale in our English language, in our Hindi language, or as well as in many regional languages. Why? Because they are adopted in their different languages. Okay. See, these tales haven't traveled far beyond India. Panchtantra tales are not only limited in India, still it is popularized outside India, like in our Southeast India, in our Southeast Asia, the Arab world, Europe. Okay, even you can see how Panchtantra influenced not only our country India, but it also influenced your Southeast Asian countries, your Arabian nations, and as well as your European nations also. Okay, in Panchtantra, my dear student, there are near about 200 adaptations. Okay, here means Panchtantra tales are adopted by 200 languages. Okay, means 200 adaptations. Okay, and in 15 and in 50 languages, Panchtantra tales are written. Okay, you can see it shows how one collection of stories has become many. Okay, previously it was single story, Panchtantra written in Sanskrit language, but now it is adopted by 200 nations in 50 languages. Okay, the most notable examples, however, in India are, but apart from Panchtantra tale, my dear student, our country India known for two major literary sources, Ramayana and Mahabharata. Okay, now see, for over 2 millennia, Ramayana and Mahabharata have been translated and adopted into regional literatures, both within India and beyond. See, near about 2 millennia years, my dear student, the Ramayana and Mahabharata epic tales are translated and adopted into many regional languages. Okay, in India as well as outside India. Okay, and it is not only adopted, but even many folk versions of this epic of Ramayana and Mahabharata also adopted. Like you can see a few years ago, a scholar conducted a survey in Tamil Nadu alone and found about 100 versions of Mahabharata that have been passed down in folklore forms. You all know, my dear student, in our previous classes, we have also talked about folklore spreadings. Okay, now see, one many years ago, a scholar, okay, a single scholar, he conducted a survey only in Tamil Nadu state of India. Okay, means many years ago, a surveyor, okay, or surveyor, he conducted a survey only in Tamil Nadu state. I'm talking about only one state of India. Okay, so while conducting his survey, he found out that only in one state of India there are more than 100 folk tales about Mahabharata. This means only in state Tamil Nadu you can see 100 folk tales. Okay, 100 folk tales exist in the form of Mahabharata. Okay, just imagine how many versions there might be across the whole of India. See, if only 100 versions exist of Mahabharata only in Tamil Nadu, then you can easily identify there are 28 states and 8 union territories. Then you can easily understand, my dear student, how many versions you are going to calculate. Okay, often preserving legends that connect their own histories to this epic tales, and these only are folk tales. Okay, this only are folk tales, we are not talking about the literary sources. Okay, so here you can see, apart from folk tales, okay, many literary sources, many written documents are available, written by historians related with Mahabharata and Ramayana. This is a true tribal communities in many parts of India, such as Bhils, Gonds, Mundas, and other. Now, see, folk tale prevails majorly in scheduled tribes. Okay, like Bhil, Gond, Munda, and other tribes who predominantly live in our country, India. These folk tales are passed among them. Okay, so here you can see, my dear student, this is a picture taken from Mahabharata, sorry, taken from Ramayana. Okay, so here you can see Ravan is carrying goddess Sita with them. Okay, so this is a version taken from Ramayana. Okay, on the other hand side, you can also see in the form of different folk tale. Okay, see, these two Sanskrit epics, okay, this two Sanskrit means this two Mahabharata and your Ramayana exist in 7,000 pages. If I talk about in the original form of Ramayana and Mahabharata, they exist in total 7,000 pages. Okay, tales of heroes who battles to restore dharma. And among the 7,000 pages, my dear student, it is all about the heroes who fought bravely the battles and restored the foundation, or restored the dharma. Okay, in Mahabharata you can see the Pandavas who were guided by Lord Krishna. Okay, they fought a battle against their cousin Kauravas, okay, to reclaim their kingdom of Hastinapur. Okay, similarly in Ramayana, my dear student, we can also see Lord Ram along with his brother Lakshman, okay, and Hanuman defeats the demon king Ravan. Okay, and why he defeated Ravan? Because Ravan abducted goddess Sita. Okay, see, here you can see, my dear student, these two epic tales consist of many short stories. Okay, and through these short stories we can see how valuable life lessons we can see throughout this two epics. Okay, now many tribes from India, northeastern Himalayas region, including Kashmir, have their own version of one or two both of epics. Now see, many in many parts of our country, India, they have their own culture, they have their own translation, they have their own story related with this two epics. Especially we are talking about here Kashmir. Okay, in Kashmir region there's a different story related with this two epics. Okay, these tribal adaptations are passed down orally along with legends about how the heroes of Ramayana and Mahabharata. See, as you all know, my dear student, folk tales are specifically passed from one generation to another generation in tribal community. Okay, specifically you can see typically the five Pandavas, okay, their wife Draupadi, and sometimes their cousin and rival Duryodhan visited their regions. Okay, so the all story about them, it is passed from one generation to another generation in the form of folk tales. Okay, anthropologist K.S. Singh, who led the People of India project mentioned earlier, noted that there is hardly a place in the country where the epic heroes such as Pandav did not visit, according to the folklore. See, in the words of anthropologist K.S. Singh. Okay, in the words of K.S. Singh, who was a famous anthropologist, he said that, see, who was K.S. Singh? K.S. Singh led this project People of India. According to him, my dear student, he said that he didn't find any single tribe or any single area where the stories related with Mahabharat and Ramayana not prevailed in their region, but in their own language, in their own folk tale. Okay, the same could be said for Ramayana. Okay, over the centuries, perhaps more than other texts, these two epics have woven a dance web of cultural interactions across India and much of Asia. See, apart from these two epic tales, we can also find many epic tales, but these two, Ramayana and Mahabharata, see they form a dense wave. Okay, they form a dense wave of culture and tradition in our India. Okay, there is yet another example of unity in diversity. Okay, apart from this, we can also see the another example which shows the unity in diversity. Okay, for example, our classical Indian art. Okay, our classical Indian art, which include both classical architecture, means which include both classical and architecture. Okay, it clearly shows the diversity and unity. Okay, ultimately it is important to remember that Indian culture celebrates diversity as a source of enrichment while never losing sight of underlying nature that nurtures its diversity. See, our art and culture is so rich, so rich that it literally, see, only our culture of India, or our the art and culture of India is single-handedly shows the unity in diversity concept. Okay, however, maintaining unity in such a diverse country is not possible without facing such challenges. As you all know, my dear student, our country India is such a big country. Okay, so it is not possible, so it is not easy to maintain the unity among all these communities. Okay, here we can also face these challenges time to time. Now, what type of challenges, what type of issues can arise? Here you can see issues arises on the basis of caste. Okay, on the basis of religious intolerance and regionalism. Okay, they can see these all things are the social evil practices which try, okay, which try to separate our unity in diversity, which try to create a disturbance among our unity. Okay, but still our India enduring belief in pluralism and inclusiveness continues to hold the countries together. But still our country India stands strong. Okay, and we can fight all these social evils. Okay, furthermore, cultural exchange and festivals like your Republic Day and Independence Day serve as a reminders of a nation's collective identity, where diversity is celebrated as a source of pride. See, apart from all this, okay, apart from food, apart from festival celebration, apart from clothing habits, okay, apart from art and culture, our India is unified by celebrating our national festivals like our Republic Day, our Independence Day, our Gandhi Jayanti. Okay, see, all these national days shows, or it remind the people of India, okay, and it also reminds the rest of the country of the world that India is a unified country. Okay, it is our nation's collective identity. Okay, now this is all about this chapter, my dear student. When we are going to conclude about this chapter, see, you can see unity in diversity is not only a phrase for India, it is a very, it is the very fabric of the nation's identity. See, unity of diversity is not only the identity of India's, okay, Indian country, but it is also act as our national identity. Okay, it showcases how a vast country with multi languages, religions and traditions can remain united through shared values of respect, inclusivity and mutual understanding. Okay, it shows that our country India is so vast, having so much of culture, religion, but still we are standing unified. Okay, India's diversity is not seen as a challenge. Okay, India means our India, okay, our country India don't see uh, this diversity as a challenge. Okay, but it is, but it sees, instead of challenge, it sees it is an opportunity. Okay, to enrich our cultural values, our social values and our life. Okay, as the nation continues to grow and evolve, its unity admires diversity will remain one of its greatest asset. Okay, see, for the growth of our country, it is most important thing to maintain unity among ourselves, because in this form, if we are maintaining unity among all people, among all Indian people, it means we are contributing, we are acting as the asset for our country. Okay, highlighting how differences can be harmoniously woven into the unified whole. Okay, and if we are acting as the asset, it means we are showing our country then in what way you can overcome all these problems. Okay, so this is all about in this chapter, my dear student. Now we are going to see the overview of this chapter. Okay, the overview of this chapter. Okay, so here you can see our country India offers immense diversity in the form of its landscape, people, language, food, festival, customs, traditions, etc. and etc. Okay, diversity is easy to perceive in many fields, but there is also an underlying unity. India's unity celebrates diversity because diversity does not divide. Okay, it enriches. Okay, so this is all about in this chapter, my dear student. I hope, my dear student, you all got a very good understanding of this chapter. Okay, now you have to go thoroughly through this chapter and revise this chapter and complete all the exercise based on this chapter. Now I am going to take leave and going to meet with you in my next class. Till then, my dear student, take very good care of yourself. Bye.